Hello, dear friends, with you Naya. Today I'm going to review the mod according to your requests. The mod is quite famous, but for some reason, there are very few reviews on it, but it's really cool. I'm talking about a fashion called Animania. It exists for versions 1.10.2, 1.11.2 and 1.12.2. Animania is a mod for animal lovers, and not only. The mod changes the appearance of animals, their behavior, gameplay related to animals, adds some new species, and also gives players a kind of very interesting incentives for mastering this mod. Animals have Animania fashion, improved models, textures, and animations. Animal behavior becomes more realistic. The mod changes the feeding and care of animals. It will be more difficult to breed and grow them, but you will be able to get new, more diverse products with all sorts of useful properties from your animals. In order for the animals to be happy, they must have constant access to food and water. Some of them need special conditions to frolic. For example, pigs want to roll in the mud from time to time. Being attacked, some of the animals run away, while others, on the contrary, can attack. For example, bulls. If animals do not receive food or water, they become unhappy, weaken, make sounds less often, and smoke particles begin to fly over them. Pets will reproduce only if they are satisfied with the content to breed animals like in vanilla. Just dragging them into one pen and feeding them, you will not succeed. We also need to make sure that there are girls and boys among your animals. Yes, this mod adds the gender of animals. In order for a wild animal to become a pet, it needs to be tamed by feeding it with your favorite food. Each species has its own favorite food, but I'll tell you about this later. Note that animals are no longer just cows, sheep, or pigs, but they also have different breeds. Breeds interbreed with each other, but there are no hybrids in the game at the moment, so the cub will turn out to be either one or another breed. There, for example, is the cow that I like the most in this fashion. It's called the Texas Longhorn. Look at her beautiful long horns. Let's go tame her. I'll feed her hay. It's one of the favorite feeds for cows. You see, I got a point for taming the Texas Longhorn breed. For fans of collecting achievements, I will say that such points are given for taming each breed of attention. And now, let's take a closer look at everyone with all the animals. You see, cows and bulls are very different from each other. The bulls have a ring in their nose, and their body is more powerful, and they themselves are larger. The boxes have udders. By the way, pay attention. When I look at an animal up close, I have an animal status indicator at the top. This function is added not by the attention itself, but by an additional mod Vela. It is not mandatory, but it makes it very easy for us to work with animals. I'll leave you a link to it too. In the wild, animals feed themselves. They are mostly able to eat grass, flowers, and often eat vegetables from vegetable gardens. Water is drunk from natural reservoirs. So without your intervention, they, as a rule, will not starve to death. There are 8 breeds of cows in the Animania fashion. They all live in different biomes. They have a favorite food: wheat, red flowers, and yellow flowers. Tamed cows can eat wheat from the feeder. By the way, the thing is very necessary, so I'll show it to craft right away. The feeder can serve as a direct container for feed and act as a drinker, or it can also be called a trough in this case. If you are playing on a technical assembly, then know that the feeder can be automated because it is combined with pipes from many popular technical mods. Cows can drink from a trough, from a bucket, and from any reservoirs. They absorb a whole block of water or a whole bucket at a time. Breeds of cows are divided into meat and dairy. This does not mean that you will not get meat from dairy breeds. It's just that dairy cows make the most ordinary beef, but meat from meat breeds turns out to be special. In addition to the fact that it satisfies hunger, it has the property of imposing the effect of instant treatment of the second level, and it is edible at any time. That is, you can eat it even if you are full. Well, have I intrigued you? Dairy cows give milk of special quality. You can also get milk from a meat cow, but the most common. By the way, no cow will give you milk until she has a calf. By the way, the cubs do not appear at the same minute after crossing. It should take some time, about a game day, but even after the calf appears, the cow will give milk, only if it is well cared for. Immediately after milking, the cow is very thirsty. For the second time in a row, you will not be able to milk her. It should take some time. You can make cheese from the milk of dairy cows. It also satisfies hunger and has the properties of instant treatment, as much as the third level, that is even cooler than meat. In general, if you have such wonderful animals, then their products are quite capable of replacing some potions for you. By the way, the advantage of such products over potions is also that they can be stacked. Let me quickly show you all the breeds of cows that currently have attention. Angus. Spawn in the jungle and in the biomes of Table Mountains, and this is a meat breed. Fristaya. They replace the vanilla cow, spawns on the plains, and this is a dairy breed. Hereford spawns on the hills, a meat breed. Holstein, a dairy breed, spawns in the forests. Jersey spawns apparently on wastelands and in swamps. Dairy breed gives milk, is not the same as that of meat. The mushroom cow has also changed textures. Look, they have bulls and cows. Scottish Mountain. It will be remembered in hilly and mountainous biomes. Meat breed gives more meat than dairy. They have a section specialized for them. Texan food spawns in the savannas, and it is a meat breed. Pigs have 6 breeds. Wild pigs graze on the tall grass. Favorite food: slop, carrots, beets, and potatoes. Slops can be made like this. Domestic pigs beat out of the trough, buckets and springs, love to wallow in the mud and swim. So don't forget to make a mud puddle for your pigs, and let's have fun. You can craft mud blocks by mixing a block of earth with a bucket of water. As with vanilla, you can ride on pigs and occupation using a fishing rod with a carrot. But the most interesting thing is that with their help, you can look for truffles that are needed for cooking some dishes. For example, truffle soup, omelets, and chocolate. They all have special properties. For example, I liked truffle chocolate, which gives the effect of the speed of the 4th level for a whole minute. In addition, some breeds of pigs give special products, such as bacon, different varieties of pork, and of course, they also give different effects. But I suggest you find out for yourself. And now let's take a closer look at our pigs. Duroc spawn in the jungle. Gemshurskaya is a spawn in the mountains. The Devonian black spawns in swamps and birch forests. A large white one spawns on forest hills. The Gloucester spotted spawn in the woods. Yorkshire replaces vanilla pig, spawns on the plains. There are 5 breeds of chickens in Animania. They peck the ground in search of food. They eat ordinary vanilla seeds, which can be scattered on the ground or fed directly from the hand. Water is drunk from a trough, from a bucket, and from reservoirs. Roosters crow in the morning, as well as cockerels that have just hatched from an egg. Chickens need nests to lay eggs. The crafting of the nest is like this. If they do not roost, then The chickens are not hatched from the eggs. Eggs taken out of the nests cannot be put back. It is not necessary to kill chickens' roosters for feathers, because they already drop feathers. However, this can be changed in configurations. Let's now consider our wonderful chickens. Leghorn. They spawn on the hills and replace vanilla chickens. They differ in that they quickly lay eggs. Orpington spawns in the savannas. Climbotroch spawns in the deserts. Rock Island spawns in the swamps. Vionot spawns on the plains, lays brown eggs.
Убирай это все.
Включи интернет назад, мне по урокам надо.
We now have 6 breeds of sheep. Painting the sheep themselves will no longer work. Some of them give a special wool peculiar only to their breed, but this wool can be converted into vanilla in a craft cell. Well, vanilla wool, of course, can be dyed as usual. Wild sheep graze on grass, flowers, and some vegetables. My favorite food is wheat, carrots, and beets. Tamed animals will eat wheat from the feeder, drink from the trough, bucket, and reservoirs. Rams sometimes arrange fights among themselves. Sheep can give milk, from which cheese can be made. Some sheep drop first-class mutton. Now consider the sheep. Dorper. It spawns in savannas and plains. The color is white. Dorset spawns on hills and plains. The colors are brown and white. Frisian spawns on the plains. The colors are black, brown, and white. Merino spawn on plains and in dry biomes. The colors are brown and white. Yakov's sheep spawn in the woods, bloom with black spots. Suffolk spawns in the savannas and Table Mountains. In addition to sheep, goats are also in fashion. There are as many as 7 breeds of them. Wild goats graze, eating grass, flowers, wheat, and some of the vegetables. Their favorite food is wheat, apples, beets, carrots, sticks, and threads. These are really unpretentious animals. Domestic goats are able to eat from a feeder, drink from a bucket of trough reservoirs. Goats are meat, dairy, and downy. You can cut them, get wool. You can milk them, get milk, and make cheese out of it. All goats drop goat meat, some first class. Goats can sometimes arrange fights among themselves. That's what the trump cards are. Alpine. It will be remembered in hilly and mountainous biomes. Angora remembered on the plains, suitable for wool. Kiko spawns in hilly and mountainous biomes. Tinder spawns in the savannas and Table Mountains. The Nigerian dwarf spawns in deserts. The Cameroonian dwarf spawns in savannas and Table Mountains. Fainting goats spawn on the plains, may faint if you run straight at them. There are as many as 8 breeds of rabbits in the embrace. Unfortunately, I could not find a description of their features. However, I know something about them. They are tamed with carrots, apples, hay, or beets. Absolutely all rabbits drop a paw after death, which you will agree is very logical. Well, you and I are profitable. By the way, it is impossible to find out the sex of a rabbit by appearance. They are too identical. Vela personally helps me out, but if you don't want to install it, you can just drag a bunch of rabbits. Some of them will probably be of different genders. In addition to paws, rabbits give rabbit meat. It imposes the effect of strengthening the jump of the 4th level. And now let's look at what kind of rabbits there are. I couldn't find out where they spawn, but the more interesting it will be for you to play yourself. Chinchilla, American, Dutch. Dutch, hare. Lop-eared. New Zealand. Rex. Animania is also added to us by horses. Vanilla horses will also remain, but such beautiful workhorses will be added. At the moment, they are considered to be one-breed heavy trucks, which ones are not specified anywhere, just heavy trucks, but they come in 6 different very original suits. They spawn on plains and in savannas, eat grass, flowers, apples, and some vegetables. Wheat will be eaten from the feeder. Water is drunk from a trough, from a bucket, or from a reservoir, no matter artificial or natural. They can be ridden and harnessed to a cart, but on horseback they are not as fast and bouncy as vanilla horses. The cart is also added to us by motor understanding, not even 1, but as many as 2. One is just a cart, and the other is a van. Their craft is like this. The van is made of a cart, wheels, wool, boards, a bed, and a chest. In turn, the cart is made of wheels, planks, iron ingot, and a stick. Well, the wheels can be made quite simply sticks and a piece of iron. You can put a chest in a small cart and transport things in it. By the way, you can carry them yourself. You don't have to harness a horse. You can still sit in it. And the van is cool in general. I'm going to show you what you can do with it. If you want to open the chest in the van, then you need to approach from the side or sit down and right-click. The chest will open. To drag the van behind you, you just need to approach from the front and right-click the mouse without squatting. To let go, hit the van again. To get into the front seat, you need to approach from the front. Aim the cursor at the front wall of the van, sit down, and click the right mouse button. To lie down on the crib in the van, just walk up to it from behind, jump inside, and right-click on the bed. The night will slip, so now you cannot be afraid that night will catch you on a hike. Let's try harnessing a horse to a van. To do this, we need to get on a horse, drive up to the van, and right-click on it. Look how cool it is. I'm sitting on a cart, and the horse is pulling it. By the way, you can harness a vanilla horse. The cart will be towed behind you, but you will still be sitting astride. Apparently, the developer meant that vanilla icons are still riding. The developer writes that horses and occupation can be ridden bareback if you have a whip. He crafts like this. Personally, I did not succeed. It is possible here, but there is no way to manage. Also, the whip seems to give acceleration to the horse. Again, I failed. If you know what the trick is, please share the secret in the comments. It's sad to say about it, but horses after death can drop horse meat, which is not as cool as other varieties of occupation products, but still gives the effect of the power of the first level for half a minute. However, by default, they drop only the skin. If you still want to get meat from horses, then you will have to dig into the configurations. Find the line that defines the fraction of horses. By default, it is empty. You need to enter this text after the equal sign. Speaking of horses, 3 more crafts came to my mind, which are added by the Animania mod. First of all, it's a saddle. Now you can make it this way. Then a lasso or a leash. In addition to the vanilla recipe, there is also an alternative one. Now, it's not necessary to look for slugs. It's enough to find 2 skins, which, you'll agree, is much easier. And the third craft is a tag, which we definitely need, considering how many pets we can have now. Her craft is quite simple. In addition to domestic cattle, motor understanding adds to us some more animals that we can also tame. Hamsters come in 8 different colors: black, brown, dark gray, golden, gray, white, and some kind of speckled. It will be remembered on beaches and in deserts, tamed with their favorite feed mixture. This mixture is being crafted like this. They can be made to stay in place with the right mouse button, like a dog or a cat. If you sit down and right-click, you can put it on your shoulder. To remove it, you need to do the same thing again. Reproduction is not available for them at the moment. Apparently, it is at the stage of completion. Hand hamsters can be planted in colored balls. They will run after you in these balls. Crafting a ball is not complicated at all. And you can also put a hamster in a wheel that will spin and generate energy. Crafting wheels like this. Whether the hamster will get out of the wheel on its own or not can be configured in the configurations, but by default, it gets out as soon as it gets hungry. The energy generated by the wheel is compatible with many technical modes. Put a well-fed pet hamster on your shoulder, sit down with the right mouse button, and then right-click, no longer squatting on the wheel. The hamster will be inside and will immediately start twisting it. In the same place in the wheel, you can throw food to him. With the right mouse button, you can put 16 servings. But you can do even trickier and attach a funnel to the wheel, and the feed will flow into the wheel automatically. Ferrets spawn in the savannas. There are 2 colors, gray and white. Favorite food: eggs and mutton. They are tamed with their favorite food. They drink from a trough, bucket, and any reservoirs. They can wait like dogs. They can ride on the shoulder. At the moment, they do not reproduce. Wild ferrets eat frogs and toads, burrow eggs. Peacocks spawn in jungles and swamps. They have 7 different colors: black, Indian blue, matte white, peach, purple, and gray-brown or beige, although for some reason they are called dark gray. They peck seeds from the ground or can be fed manually. They drink from the trough or from the springs. Wild ones eat toads or ga. Favorite food: vanilla seeds, absolutely any. They need nests to lay eggs, just like chickens. Eggs can be taken away or left. If there is a male, then the egg will hatch. In general, peacock eggs replace chicken eggs in all recipes. In addition, peacocks also give feathers, which can also be used in crafting instead of chicken feathers. But peacocks do not give meat at the moment, but they are very beautiful. Hedgehogs spawn in forest biomes, and there are 2 types, ordinary and albinos. They are tamed by their favorite food: beets, carrots, or eggs. Water is drunk from a reservoir or from a bucket. They can be made to sit and wait, like a dog or a cat, or you can take them on your shoulder. Wild hedgehogs dig vegetables from vegetable gardens, steal eggs from nests, eat frogs and toads. At the moment, they do not reproduce. Amphibians, at the moment there are 3 types of them. Frogs. These are wild animals that live in swamp and river biomes. They can be both in water and on land. They have no favorite food. They are located at the very bottom of the food pyramid and are prey to chickens, ferrets, hedgehogs, and peacocks. They are afraid of the players and will try to escape. Shot from a frog legs, which, by the way, give the effect of strengthening the jump of the 3rd level. The frog is a poisonous arrow. This kind of frog is poisonous, so you have to be careful with them. It is better not to touch or step on them, otherwise the effect of poisoning for 10 seconds. If you smear arrows with them, they will be soaked with poison. Right-click on the frog, but after one time, there is apparently a rollback, because I couldn't anoint the 2nd arrow right away. Toads. They are also eaten by all kinds of animals, but I did not notice that they had any other function. But they diversify our fauna, so why not? Now I'm going to tell you a couple more interesting things that you will definitely need if you decide to play with the Animania mod. First of all, it's a carving knife. His craft is like this. It is needed for cutting meat and cheese and getting bacon from pork. The second thing is a cheese mold, which is made of 3 boards and 1 piece of iron. Let's try to make cheese with you. Pour the milk into the mold and wait until it turns into cheese. It takes a lot of time, so I advise all amateur cheesemakers to make more cheese molds at once and pour them all. So you and I got cheese. Now you can cut it into pieces, carry it with you, and satisfy your hunger as needed. Speaking of animal care, I had to mention one more thing. Salt lisinets is a block that helps some animals heal if their health scale is not complete. To do this, place a block of salt in the pen to the animals. The effect of salt extends to horses, cows, sheep, goats, and pigs. It is crafted as follows. We put several cheese molds on the ground and fill them with water. You can, of course, do with one form, but it will be a very long time. So, we are waiting for the water to evaporate. As a result, we will get this pinch of salt. We need 8 of these and 1 bucket of water. When we put it all together, then voila, our lisinets for horses or cows, or whoever else you keep there is ready. Well, what else can I add about this fashion? Perhaps I will say that the mod is constantly being updated. The developers are fixing something all the time, adding something, and this pleases. I read on their project page that they are still thinking of adding some animals, namely ponies, falcons, cats, foxes, chinchillas, working dogs, reptiles, and even more different birds. Well, we'll wait and see. Personally, I look forward to each of their updates. That's probably all for today. I hope you enjoyed my review. Write your feedback in the comments, and see you soon. Bye-bye.